What's up, guys? Classy Metal here. I apologize. I probably look like crap. I probably sound like crap. It's been a long day. I'm tired. I'm home now. Got home. Metalhead Box was here, so that helped brighten the day up a little bit. So definitely stoked any day that I come home and this is in the mailbox. I've already opened it up. As you can see, it's empty now. I've opened it up. I've listened to everything. I've gone through everything to have a better idea and just know what I'm talking about, I guess, while I'm talking to you guys, because there was some stuff in here. I'm glad I did, because there was some stuff in here that I wasn't super familiar with, just right off the top of my head. So definitely will make for a more informative video coming from me, and that way just better all around for all of us. Before I get into the Metalhead Box, I have a giveaway going. I will link that up in the description below. Actually, I have two giveaways going. I will link the video up telling you how to enter. I'm giving away the newest release from Defiatory, Hades Rising. Also giving away the newest release from Northwind Wolves, entitled Dark, Cold, Grim. So two fantastic albums you can win. Also throwing in some Transcending Records samplers in with those as well. As I said, I'll link that video up in the description, so definitely get in on that giveaway. I'm ending that on June the 15th, so you still have a little bit to get in on that. Okay, getting into the main thing of this video, which is the Metalhead Box. This was a solid month. I would say that right off the top. This was one of the better months that I've had from the Metalhead Box, period. Not just lately, but period. It's probably been one of my favorite boxes that they've put out. Sometimes you get little trinkets and toys and fun little things. There weren't any in this. This was a focus on the music, focus on the metal type box, and it was phenomenal. The first thing that I'm going to show you that came in this box was the newest release from Dimmu Borgir, entitled Aeonian. I already talked about this album in a collection update video that I did not too long ago. I already own the CD. This box contained the cassette. It also came with a card telling you about the different bundles you can get from Nuclear Blast, but it also says that this cassette is a Metalhead Box exclusive. So as collector scum, it's definitely nice to anytime you have something exclusive. It kind of gets those goosebumps going and makes you feel like you've got something special in your collection. I know there's been some flack, I guess, as far as this album is concerned. There's been some people that weren't super thrilled with this. Personally, I felt this is one of the better albums that they've put out in recent memory. They kind of cut the over-the-top type stuff out of the sound, and I think that's what some people are missing on this, but it's also the same thing that people were complaining about within the last two releases anyway. But I've been hearing it's a weak album, and that I think it's one of the stronger releases they put out in quite some time. So I'm definitely stoked to have this on cassette as well as CD now. It's on this nice red cassette tape, so definitely stoked and glad that that was in this month's box. Next up, I'll show the t-shirt. I'll have to admit, this was a band that I had never heard of before. There's been some fellow YouTubers that have done videos on this band apparently, and somehow I've missed that along the way. This is a Finnish black metal one-man project entitled Vargrav. I don't know how well you can make that artwork out, but it has some pretty sick artwork on the front. It also has print on the back as well. It says as night swallows the light, and it has that upside down pentagram there on the back. So pretty gnarly looking shirt. I feel like I'm one of the last people that got their box in this month, and it kind of worked to my favor, I guess, because I saw a couple spoilers, and I saw that shirt in a couple of the spoilers that I saw leading up to me receiving my box, and I'm pretty glad that I did, because I would have had a terrible time trying to figure out what band that was just from the logo. I'm glad that that shirt was in this month's box, because it led me to go check out that band. And it's pretty phenomenal symphonic black metal. I actually enjoyed it enough that I have the album on the way now. I ordered it through Bandcamp. I believe it's on, I'm going to say Wolfspell. I could be wrong on that. Wolfspell Records. But the Hell's Headbangers is actually doing the distribution, at least here in the U.S. So that should be on the way soon. You'll see that CD in a upcoming collection update. I believe Scourge of Vinyl, Brandon over at Scourge of Vinyl, he may have showed the vinyl version in a previous update of his, but as I said, I had missed that, and now I'm thankful to the Metalhead Box that I found a new band just simply from the shirt. That's one good thing I will say about the box is you're not just going to find mainstream stuff in these boxes. You're going to that shirt was about as obscure of a band as you can get, and I never probably would have listened to that band had it not been through because of the Metalhead Box. So I'm definitely thankful that that shirt was in this month's box. Next up, we have a DOA Magazine. This is a pretty solid magazine. I was kind of flipping through this, looking through it earlier. It has some pretty gnarly looking artworks in this. Almost reminds me of some of that Riddick art that I've showed on previous videos. Has some great band spotlights in this, some underground type stuff too that I would have probably not known anything about. These are all very, I guess I'm using the word obscure, but you're going to see some stuff in this that you wouldn't probably find like in a Decibel magazine or other. There's not too many magazines actually left, but some of the more mainstream, I don't know if Metal Hammer is still around or not, but stuff that you most likely wouldn't see in those type magazines is in this. So it's pretty neat. It's going to be a definite gateway for me to find some new material. Has one of my favorite things too is reading like reviews for new albums. So I definitely have quite a bit of reading to do on the toilet here in the very near future. So definitely glad that was in there. That's a pretty solid looking magazine. It's actually my introduction to DOA Magazine. And apparently you can order that through Hell's Headbangers from what I'm hearing as well. So if you don't want to just do a subscription straight to the magazine, you could, I believe they have copies of that magazine for sale on Hell's Headbangers. The magazine also came with 2 CDs on its own. So the first one is an EP from a band called Reign of Vengeance. This was okay. It had some high points on this. It's death metal, kind of straightforward death metal. It had like it's an EP. It's kind of a concept EP, I guess is the best way for me to put this. As I said, there were some high points on this. There were also some points on this that I was left kind of wanting more out of it. So I don't know. It's a definite band to keep an eye on. I think there's some definite potential there. Wasn't my favorite thing in this box, but as I said, there was some definite potential in that band. Next up, we have a CD from Relapse Records. I guess a compilation. I couldn't think of the word that I wanted. It's kind of a Relapse sampler compilation type stuff. Man, there's some the bands on this. I mean, it's I'll just read some of these off: Obituary, Gatecreeper, Dying Fetus, Devourment, Exhumed, Incantation, Gruesome, Iron Reagan. I mean, this is a phenomenal compilation if I've ever seen one. So definitely looking forward to giving that a few spins. I just went blurry. The camera couldn't handle how brutal this compilation was. So that's a fantastic. I mean, as far as compilations go, that's a really solid one. I'll probably take that in the truck. I don't mind spinning compilations and stuff in the car, because if they get scratched or anything, it's no super big loss. So definitely that will be getting some playtime in the vehicle in the very near future. The 2 CDs, it came with 2 actual, I guess, jewel case CDs in this month's box. The first one that I'm going to show, I'm just reading the band name. I thought it was going to be either black metal or black and death metal. The name of the band is The Blood of Christ, and the name of this album is Anthology 4, Unrelenting Declivity of Anguish. Sorry, I probably just butchered that, but I apologize. But anyway, that's what it is. As I said, I thought it was going to be either black and death metal or black metal, and then I saw the CDN record stamp right there on the back, and I was like, okay, this has got to be death metal. I've heard quite a bit of brutal death metal from the CDN label. Turns out this is death metal out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Fantastic stuff. I probably never would have checked this band out just on the band name alone. So this is another one I have to thank Metalhead Box for putting this in my frame of vision, I guess, giving me the opportunity to listen to this before I did this video. Fantastic stuff. It's the lyric, I guess the vocal attack on this is just pretty unrelenting, brutal stuff. It has some definite almost old school type, and I guess even groovy moments going on with this as well. I definitely found my head banging to this quite a bit. Definitely looking forward to spending a little bit more time on this. I will link up in the description some of this material and some of these bands so you can check them out for yourselves. I will link my favorite track that I've heard from this so far. I believe it was the 4th track. It's Obese Legions Fed to the Ravenous Wolves. Fantastic stuff. Definitely check this out. As I said, it will be in the description, so you can have that opportunity to check that out. The last CD that came in this is a blackened thrash type band. This is a band called Exordium Mors. I believe they're out of New Zealand. So this was another just stuff worldwide type box. There was stuff from all over the globe in this month's box. I love the throwback Trend Killers kind of artwork on this. The actual album artwork itself, let me see, I don't know how well my camera's going to pick that up, but that artwork is awesome. I want you to check this out just to see that artwork. As I said, this is blackened thrash metal. It has a very campy type sound to this. They definitely want to pay homage to the older blackened thrash bands out there. And the album itself, I mean, the artwork, the Trend Killers look, it looks like this came out in 2014, but it has that old school, just silver disc, plain, just it looks like it came straight out of the early 90s. And the sound, you get that lo-fi production sound going on with this, very screechy, blackened thrash vocals going on. I will link that up in the description so you can check that out as well. The last thing that came in this month's box was probably definitely one of the more influential autographs, people who have done autographs for this month's box. I know that there are people out there that are super excited for this, as I was. Probably one of my favorite autographs that I've received, aside from maybe the Carl Sanders autograph that I got. This definitely, as I said, one of the most influential. This is KK Downing from Judas Priest. He is no longer with Judas Priest as he's retired now, but he played on all of the influential, all of the classic Judas Priest stuff. There are so many musicians and bands out there right now that wouldn't be where they were, or wouldn't even be there, period, had it not been for this man and for his work with Judas Priest. So, I mean, that's just, you're not going to get it says legendary guitarist. I mean, that's probably, the man is a legend. I can't add anything else to that. It's just I'm a bit speechless as far as having this in my collection and being able to put this on display. I'm super thankful for that. So definitely, I said this, as I said before, this is just an A+ month for the Metalhead Box. Phenomenal stuff. There was nothing that I didn't like this month. So that's all I've got for this video. I will do the Magic Bullet liquidation haul videos. I'm going to split it up into 3. They're coming, I promise. I know I've been slacking. I will get those out soon. I'm going to split them up. I'm going to do the CDs in the first video, then the 7 inches in the second, and the LPs in the last. That way it won't be just too much on you all at one time. Otherwise it's going to be an hour-long video, and nobody wants that. So I'm going to split that up. Bono over at Good Music Promotions, man, your care package is coming, I promise. I've got it packed. It's sitting there. It's coming, I promise. Don't think that it's not coming to you. I've been a little slow. Finances have been a little strained, but I'm changing jobs. But it is coming, I promise. It's on the way. Enter my giveaways. Like I said, they're in the description. I'm going to wrap this up. I feel like I'm rambling now. But thank you guys, especially all of you that have come along in the very last few months, I guess last month or so. I've gained a lot of subs. We hit the 1,000 mark. Thank you. Stay classy, stay metal, and I will see you all in the next video.